heard someone in that crowd say not bad. Not bad. Yeah. Good stuff. See this? Something about media? I don't know. I'm brought out of my rather morbid musings by the appearance of Rin near the entrance to the bleachers. You came. Of course. I said I would, didn't I? That doesn't necessarily imply that you had to follow, though. Lots of people say things and don't mean them. Well, I don't. Rin shrugs, seemingly bored with our conversation. She turns on her heel and heads back towards the stands. I owe me money now. Why's that? I didn't think you'd show up. Again? And we did. So I owe her 500 yen now. You two bet an awful lot, don't you? Another shark from my armless companion. I don't think so. We enter the bleachers, and Rin nods upwards. Up there. I came out to see if you'd come. For the bet, I presume. Rin leads the way, and soon we've settled down on an almost empty bench. There's an old woman sitting next to Rin. Someone's mother, I suppose. Whose mother do you think? Especially since she's appeared now in the screen. She's got rather long hair done up in a braid. On seeing Rin, she gives an oddly familiar-seeming grin. Well, this is surprising. I thought you went to get a snack, not a boy. Huh? A snack? I wondered why I was down there. Woman laughs again in a way that seems familiar. Where have I seen her before? Well, I suppose you've always been one to go out for one thing and bring back another. But I'm being rude, I haven't introduced myself. I'm Mako Ibarazaki, Emi's mother. Pleased to meet you. Well, that explains it. She's like a taller, older, and better endowed Emi. Yeah, that's really what you need to focus on, Hisao. Apart from her hair being a darker shade than Emi's, there's really no mistaking the resemblance. Sorry, I'm Hisao Nakai. And really, you don't have to apologize for not introducing yourself, Mrs. Ibarazaki. That's really Rin's job in this situation, isn't it? Another laugh from Emi's mother. I take it you've not known Rin for that long, then. It's best not to expect her to remember something like that. She's got other things to think about, I assume. That looks like Miki's face. Rin nods, seeming pleased by this assessment. She's right. I was thinking about sunsets. You see, it's really up to us to make introductions and the like. For lack of any better response, I nod. Mrs. Ibarazaki leans back a little on her seat and raises an eyebrow. So, how long have you and Rin been dating? My response consists of silence, as my brain suddenly lurches into gear. But just before I can begin to utter a hastily babbled explanation, Emi's mother bursts into laughter again. Ha! You're a blusher, aren't you? I don't know if there's any way to keep my dignity in this situation, so I settle for a mumbled response. Maybe. So, this must be a new romance then, mustn't it? Oh wait, that's not the question that... Another laugh. I know, but it's funny to watch you squirm. I'm sorry. Forgive an old woman for her amusements. Old woman? She sure doesn't look that old to me. Clearly, Emi gets her useful features from her mother. I suppose I can let it go. How kind of you. It's starting. I direct my attention to the track, where they're preparing for the first sprint. Hey there, Emi. Looks like the 400-meter dash. I scan the numbers before finding Emi. She's smiling, with an almost cocky look on her face. You're on the farthest, or the longest track, you know. I mean, I don't really know how track meets and track and field work, but I'm pretty sure the outer ring, well, obviously, the outer ring is the longest ring, because it's, you know, bigger than the inner rings, and, you know. The starter raises his pistol. Emi explodes off the block, disappearing from the starting line in a blur. It's amazing. Even as the other sprinters converge on the lanes closest to the inside line, Emi surges to the front of the pack. By the time she rounds the final turn, some of the other runners have caught up with her. Their efforts come to naught, though, since a final burst of speed from Emi leaves them at least a half a second behind. Mrs. Ibarazaki whoops and shouts, applauding wildly, and generally looking like any other parent cheering on their child. Emi bounds off the track, looking pleased with herself. I cheer right along with the rest of them. The announcer, sounding suspiciously like Misha, gleefully gives the results. That's very suspicious. I think she's gone faster since the last time. That was incredible. Mrs. Ibarazaki grins proudly. Emi's a heck of a runner. We fall silent as the next event is being prepared. I'm surprised to see Emi striding out to the track again. Oh wait, didn't she just run? Emi's mother nods. Yes, but she runs multiple events for the team, especially the sprints. It's a lot of running, but Emi can handle it. From the looks of things, she's right. Emi doesn't appear to be tired, as if she hadn't run the previous event at all. If not for the sweat visible on her shirt, you'd never know. Which event is this? It's the 200-meter dash. She'll do this one, the 100-meter, and then the relay. I see. Once again, the pistol sounds, and once again, Emi flies off the block. A thumping sound draws my attention away from the race. It's Rin's foot. She seems completely absorbed in the race. Rin's mother cheers again, and I assume that the race is over. Sprints that seem to me like they take very long to complete. Your foot. Your foot was bouncing on the bleachers. Oh. You seem to be pretty into this stuff. I'm surprised. Rin looks at me quizzically. Why wouldn't I be? No reason. I just thought stuff like sports wouldn't interest you. I suppose you're right. It's not that interesting. But I'm watching Emi, not the sport. I don't follow. Emi is the most Emi when she runs. You don't get to see Emi at her Emiest very often. But here, you can, see? She directs my attention towards the track again, where the 100-meter dash is about to start. I watch Emi closely, as she gets onto the starter blocks. I don't really know what that means. I'm guessing that's these line things, but I don't see blocks, I don't know. Her whole body seems to relax, but it's a false relaxation. I can see that she's actually like a coiled spring. As the starter tells everyone to get set, her head snaps up, and her eyes narrow slightly. Her mouth curls upward, in what could be a grin, and could be a growl. When the pistol goes off, it's as if she's been unleashed from a cage, like she was always moving at this blinding speed, but we couldn't see it happening until the starter's pistol dispelled the illusion of motionlessness. It's all over in a few seconds, but in those few seconds, I feel like I just witnessed something very personal for Emi. As soon as she crossed the finish line, the fierce look was replaced by a normal grin. The conquering general returning to his farm. Amazing. She's really amazing. I've never seen anyone move that fast. Well, don't look at me. I'm far too relaxed to run that fast. No, I think Emi's prowess all came from her father's side. At the mention of Emi's father, Mrs. Ibarazaki looks wistful, almost sad. I'm guessing he left. He got her into running, you know? Yeah, she told me. I'm uncertain as to whether or not it would be rude of me to ask about Emi's father. But after that look on her face a few days ago, I feel compelled to ask. Where is her father now, if I might ask? Emi's mother hesitates, clearly not willing to answer the question, but at the same time, not wishing to appear rude. He isn't around anymore. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up bad memories. Emi just seemed a little sad when she mentioned him earlier. That's not surprising, considering... They were very close. I see. A beeping noise suddenly emanates from Mrs. Ibarazaki's pocket. Reaching into it, she pulls out a cell phone and looks at it. Honestly, text messages? What is he, 16? No, nothing. I've got to go meet up with a friend of mine. Will you tell Emi I'm very proud of her, and then I'll call her later tonight? Of course. Alright. I'll admit that I zoned out for a while. I almost didn't notice the relay is about to begin. But when I look, I can't find Emi. I thought that Emi would be running the relay. She runs anchor. So she won't be running for a while yet. Ah! Did you see it? Huh? Emi at her Emiest. Maybe. Maybe this time. The race begins, and I cheer Emi's teammates along as they pass the baton. Finally, I see Emi sprinting out on the track to take a final handoff. And once again, I'm taken aback by how graceful she looks when she's running. It really is beautiful. Look of determination and fearlessness on her face only add to the picture. Maybe I should have named the fallen human Emi. Emi at her Emiest, I suppose. But then, as she crosses the finish line, I see her stumble slightly. It's only barely, but it's a definite stumble. Rin inhales sharply, and now she looks concerned for a second. Oh, Emi. Did she hurt herself, do you think? You noticed it too? It must be bad. She frowns, as if deciding on the next course of action. I mentioned that proves to be too tiresome, and she shrugs again. Well, let's go down. Gotta crown the victor. See if you can find a laurel branch. That's not gonna be easy. Rin shrugs. At least we tried. Well, we didn't try all that hard. Or at all. But what hey? But what hey? What hey ever? What hey ever? Emi's surrounded by her teammates, all of them congratulating her on the run. I can't speak today. Rin seems to be waiting for Emi to notice that she's arrived. Oh yeah, I guess she can't exactly wave Emi over. Then again, I'm not sure Rin would do such a thing even if she had arms. Doesn't seem her style to draw attention to herself, or to emote beyond shrugging. Either way, I'm not willing to wait, so I wave to Emi, who looks up and grins happily at me, us. Yeah, you wish it was just you, Hisao. Hey, you showed up!
Guess Rin owes me money, huh?
We would have bought you a crown of laurels, but Hisao didn't find one. Hey, neither did you. It was my job to look. When did we assign jobs? When I said, see if you can find a lower branch. Try to keep up. I shrug. Yes, Rin's rubbing off on me. Seems it's my fault after all, Emmy. Emmy laughs at Rin and me.
It's okay. I'm sure you'll make it up to me somehow.
Sure.
Good. So, how'd I look?
I stopped myself from blurting out beautiful or amazing and set out for the substantially safer, very impressive. Emmy seems pleased with this assessment. I don't mention how much more impressive her performance is given her lack of legs. I figure she knows that already. Besides, it seems like it would take away from her efforts somehow.
Great to hear. I was worried that I'd look a little slow on the relay, but I guess I did fine, huh?
Actually, I know. Rin kicks me and keeps me from finishing my sentence.
What was that all about?
You noticed it at the end.
That's no good. Guess the nurse will look at it for me later.
There's a carelessness in her voice, as if it isn't a big deal. But I suddenly notice a slight twitch on her face, like she's trying to hide the fact that she's in pain. It's then that I notice her breathing is a little shallow too. I guess she really is hurt. She must notice my concern, because she skips over to me and gives me a friendly pat on the shoulder.
Hey, you look a little worried. I'm fine, really. It's just sore from all the running is all. And come on, little pain isn't gonna stop me.
Oh no? Emmy grins. For a moment, she looks like she did during a sprint. Fierce and unconquerable. Well, to put another way, really beautiful.
Hasn't yet.
Well then, I guess I shouldn't worry, huh?
Damn right, I'm Emi Ibarazaki. Fastest thing on no legs. I don't stop for anything.
Impressive. Emmy giggles, and then seems to remember something.
No, before I forget. Rin and I are gonna go do something next Sunday, as a post-track meet celebration. You should come along. Normally we do it the day after, but since the track meet was on a Sunday, I've got homework and class and all that stuff to take care of. Plus our morning run, of course.
Right, of course. Oh, right, your mom wanted to say she's proud of you. She'll call you later tonight.
I thought I saw her in the stands. I'm glad she made it. It used to be my dad who shoved in my meets, but Mom's done a pretty good job of taking over.
She shivers slightly, and I realize that she's still all sweaty. A breeze has started to blow too. I'm not cold at all. And I've got my jacket with me, so without a word, I throw it around her shoulders. What a gentleman. When did we get a jacket, though? Why do we have the jacket? In the other room, we said that we haven't thrown on the school's blazer at all this year. Which I assume is kind of the same thing. I've never worn a blazer. Emmy jumps slightly, and then grins at me.
Hey, thanks! It's getting a little cold, I guess.
Yeah, it looked like it. Just to begin to wonder whether or not giving my Emmy jacket could be taken the wrong way, a boy in a track uniform approaches. Hey, Emmy, you're gonna miss the medal ceremony.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
She turns to Rin and myself.
You don't have to stick around for this part. It takes forever. Besides, you should get cranking on your homework now if you don't want to be up later, Sal. Morning run tomorrow. Don't forget.
How could I?
Good point. I mean, it's spending time with me after all.
With that, she waves quickly and dashes off to receive her medal, so whatever they pass off as a medal these days. A piece of paper, ribbon, maybe. Rin and I head away from the track, remaining deep in whatever thought she has for the most walk back to her dorm. As I see her off, she speaks up. You're probably not getting that coat back, I think. I'm sure I'll get it back eventually. Interesting. Take it as it comes, huh? Very Emmy-ish. With this odd statement, she turns and heads into the building. Honestly, was that big of a deal? Emmy was cold and, unless I'm mistaken, in pain. Giving her a solution to at least one of those problems seems like an obvious reaction. Though I guess there is a chance I could lose my jacket if Emmy never remembers to return it. I guess Ren has a point. Still, I can't bring myself to muster much worry over the whole thing. After all, it's been getting warmer lately. I don't need a jacket. Odd. I think I used to be a little more responsible with my stuff. Emmy-ish, huh? Maybe that's not really a bad thing. Maybe that's not really a bad thing at all, so... Getting very, very Emmy-ish. You haven't been forgetting to take your medicine, have you? I'm catching a little murmur. You should take it easy for a few days. This word hurt me far more than the exhaustion of the morning run ever could. Take it easy for a few days? I knew I should have kept quiet. I keep my eyes on the floor, feeling like a complete idiot. Of course I hadn't been remembering to take my medicine. I've been rushing in my room to get into the track before Enemy. After the track meet a few days ago, I felt inspired. So I've been running warm-up laps in the morning before Emmy shows up. But then today, while she and I were running, I felt a little pain in my chest. It was only slight, and it was only for a second, so I mentioned it to the nurse. And honestly, it wasn't that bad.
I mean, I kept running and finished just fine, so it really couldn't have been that bad. Why do I feel like I'm making excuses to the nurse? Moreover, why do I feel need to justify continuing to run despite the pain? Really, it comes down to me being unwilling to concern Emmy, who seemed concerned anyway. I'm not sure how she was able to tell there was anything wrong, but she claims I stumbled a little. She's the one who insists I tell the nurse, so now I feel bad for worrying her at all. Nurse is shaking his head ruefully while Emmy paces outside the room. Hisao, I know it's difficult for you to get into a new routine, but if you don't want to find yourself in a lot of trouble, you're gonna have to try harder. You can't afford to forget your pills, and you can't push yourself too hard. But if I don't push myself, how will I improve? I don't know where that came from. Nurse seems to have an idea. Now where have I heard that before? He laughs and pats me on the shoulder. Huh? She's rubbing off on you, I guess. His expression changes again. He's back in serious mode. Look, I'm not saying you shouldn't push yourself, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be taking medicine, and that doesn't mean you should stop if your chest starts to bother you. I'd prefer not to have any fatalities while I'm on staff here. A bit of a lofty goal to be sure, but I'm always up for the challenge. I hate to admit it, but I think he's right. I've got to remember to take my medication. You're right, I'm sorry to worry you. Who's worried? You're a smart kid, right? I know you can be responsible, Hisao. A situation like yours, you've got to learn to be responsible fast. I know. His expression suddenly becomes devious. I suppose you started to enjoy your runs with Emmy then, eh? Yeah, they've been really helping me. I mean, until today, I was feeling a lot more healthy. Did your eyebrows? I swear I saw your eyebrows change for a second. Plus, it's really impressive to see Emmy run. Did you see her at the track meet? She was incredible! Nurse nods, grinning all the while. That she was, Hisao. I watched her first couple races before I had some business to take care of, but she told me all about it. Kind of you to loan her your jacket, by the way. Huh? Oh yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal. I'd honestly forgotten all about that. I still haven't gotten it back. Nurse gets a smile that makes me feel like he's just made a joke. Not to you, but Emmy certainly appreciated it. And I know she appreciates your running with her in the mornings. This one catches me a little off guard a little. Sure, she mentioned that it's easy to keep it to a schedule with an extra person, but I didn't think that I was doing a favor at all. I thought she was doing me a favor of helping me follow the doctor's orders. She tries harder when you're around. If there's someone else running with her, she's gonna push herself more. And she tries even harder when you're around, because, well, it's you. The heck does that mean? Oh, you'd love to know, wouldn't you? He laughs in the style of an evil megalomaniac. No, seriously, it's because you're a friend. If Rin ran with her, I'm sure she'd do the same. Well, probably. But that's not the point. The point is, you're helping her, even if you don't know you are. And she's grateful for that, even if she never says it. What do you mean, even if she never says it? Emmy doesn't talk a lot, but she and I have known each other long enough that I can read her most of the time. I'll admit it, I have no idea what he's talking about. Emmy always seems pretty talkative to me. I see. I'm starting to realize that he's been rambling and stops talking, look a little embarrassed. Anyway, you don't have to stop your morning exercise. Just walk to the track instead of running for a few days, let things calm down, and take your damn medicine. I laugh as I exit the office, bumping straight into Emmy. Whoops, sorry about that. Are you okay? What did the nurse say? Do you need to go to the hospital? Oh my gosh, it was my fault, wasn't it? I've been pushing you too hard, haven't I? I'm a whole person. Which pour forth like a torrent. She's really agitated. I didn't expect her to be this concerned about me, to be honest. Gotta calm her down. How do I do that? I do the only thing I can think of. I give her a hug. Emmy tenses up slightly, so I pat her on the head, in what I hope is a reassuring manner. Hey, settle down. I'm fine, okay? No worries. I can feel Emmy's body relax as I continue to assure I'm fine. Her arms wrap around me, as if she's trying to confirm that I'm not about to fall over dead. I get a whiff of her hair. It smells like sweat, or how adrenaline should smell. It's the scent of activity. And a hint of strawberries, from her shampoo, I suspect. I just need to remember to take my medicine, that's all. Don't worry about it. It's not your fault. I'm just an idiot. You sure? Her voice is muffled, mostly because at the moment her face is pressed into my chest. Yeah, I'm sure. I just need to take it a little easy for the next few days. It suddenly occurs to me how close the two of us are. It also occurs to me how nice being this close feels. I can feel Emmy's heartbeat calming down, and I have to resist the urge to rest my chin on the top of her head. Thank goodness. You really had me worried there, Hisao. Emmy, you going to come in here anytime soon? Oh, I'm sorry. Was I interrupting? Two of us spring apart, as if the other just caught on fire. Emmy brushes her hair back nervously and laughs. Of course not. I'll, see you later, okay? Oh, and Hisao? Take your damn medicine!
Last phrase is punctuated by a punch to the shoulder. Yeah, I'll remember. See you later, you two assholes. Nurse smiles again, like he's in on some joke I don't know about, and waves to me as I head for my room, feeling a burning in my cheeks. I need a shower. A cold one. If the thoughts running through my head are in any indication. She was really soft. My pillows are waiting for me when I make it to my room. I swallow them without a second thought. I don't know why I didn't think of waiting until after the runs to take them. For some reason, I figured it was when I woke up or not at all. But no, they only need to be taken every 24 hours. The exact time of day doesn't factor into it. My thoughts shift back to the tug in the hallway. It's weird. You'd expect someone to smell foul after a run, but for some reason, Emmy smelled right. That tinge of sweat just seemed to fit her. I really need that shower. Another scene already, not bad. We're going all over the place. Strange that it feels so natural for me to go up to the roof these days. Never would have done such thing in my old school. In those days, I'd like to eat alone. No, that's not quite true. Though I like to sit alone, I also like to watch people. I always figured it was the sort of person I was, but it appears I was wrong. Then again, I also thought I was the sort of person who had a normal heart, so there you have it. I don't know myself that well. Now I'm on the roof, so I can have lunch with a couple of people. And they're both girls, which is even stranger. Oddly enough, I feel closer to Emmy and Rin than I felt to anyone in my old school. Somehow I get the feeling they'd at least visit me if I wound up in the hospital. Yeah, our old friends were assholes, weren't they? I focus on the view from the roof, banishing such thoughts from my head. There's a light breeze blowing, and the sun is shining high in the sky. The sky itself is a deep blue, with hardly a cloud in it. Bullshit. It's gotten pleasantly warm, and as I sit down to wait for my friends, I close my eyes and enjoy the feeling of the sun seeping into my skin. And someone's gonna wake us up, aren't they? Someone shaking me awake? Huh? Voices intrude upon the edge of hearing.
Seems to have fallen asleep on us, Rin.
Maybe he's faking to lull us into a false sense of security.
Why would he do that?
No idea.
Still, you make a good point. We should kick him or something, make sure he's really asleep.
Huh? A what? Emmy looms over me, like only a short girl can, peering at me intently.
Oh, you're awake. I guess we don't have to kick you then.
Was it part of your master plan? What are you talking about? Emmy shrugs, her twin tails bouncing with emotion.
I'm not sure either. You must be pretty tired to fall asleep out here. Although, it's pretty comfortable, I suppose.
She plops down next to me and begins to eat. Rin seems opposite from the two of us, a move which only makes me more aware of the girl sitting next to me. If I didn't know any better, I'd swear Rin did it on purpose. I concentrate on my food, trying to tune out the majority of the conversation that Rin and Emmy are having. Despite my best efforts, however, I still find myself glancing over at Emmy whenever she speaks. I notice how she purses her lips when she's thinking about something, squinting slightly, as if that would improve her thinking ability. Rin says something that makes Emmy laugh, and I notice, perhaps for the first time, how she laughs with her whole body, rocking back and forth, head thrown back, almost like she's about to fall over. I probably look like a creep. It's about this time that I realize Emmy's looking at me, her voice raised slightly, so she's probably just asked me a question. Huh? Sorry, I kinda zoned out for a minute there. Emmy rolls her eyes, with a slight quirk of the eyebrow, as this is the only sign that Rin's even paying attention.
I said, did you get a career survey in your class too? You know, one of those, what do you want to do after high school things?
I don't think so. Maybe we'll get one tomorrow.
What are you going to put down?
That's a really good question. I guess I always figured I'd go to college after high school, but I have no idea what I'd do once I got there. And with the heart attack and all, I'd really been concentrating on each day as it came rather than making long-term plans. I suppose I can safely start playing ahead again. I've always liked having at least a vague plan for my future, so it'll be nice to come up with one again. Of course, that doesn't change the fact that right now I've got absolutely no clue. I always kind of assume I figured out college. That or just being a salary man. That's pretty popular. What do I really want to? That's a tough question. Guess I don't really want to do anything.
You don't sound very excited about that one, do you?
She laughs as she says this, and I'm caught up in her laugh again. It's so girlish, high and giggly, like oh well, pardon the cliche, like a babbling brook. You really are mad about this, aren't you, Hisao? He bubbles out of her, starting in her belly and working its way up to her throat. I can't help but laugh myself. It's infectious. Yeah, I guess I'm pretty unhappy with the salary man idea. But to be honest, I haven't given much thought to the future recently. I suppose that these days, I've been more concerned with living one day at a time. Emiest considers this for a moment and grins.
That's a pretty good idea, Hisao. I just wrote down pirate.
I'm momentarily stunned, and then I start laughing. I stop myself and manage to gasp out a question. You're not actually serious, are you? Emiest looks mock offended.
Well, I've got the legs for it already, so I just kind of figured.
Even Rin seems amused by this.
Just you wait. I'll be the terror of the high seas. I'll show you all. I've even been working on my pirate voice.
Suddenly, she springs up and begins swaggering up and down the rooftop, shouting orders.
Yar me hearties! Yar me hearties! Give 'em a broadside with the long guns! We'll wear their guts for garters!
Do you even know what that means? Rin's unexpected interruption stops Emiest in her tracks.
Not really. But it's all in the delivery.
The ringing of the bell prevents her from demonstrating her point further. Emiest dashes off immediately, leaving Rin and myself alone on the roof. Rin stares at me intently for a few moments. Is there something wrong? Rin considers this question closely for a moment. After a lengthy pause, she shakes her head. Nope. Oh, why the staring then? Rin shakes her head again. Nope, I don't get it. Get what? The staring thing. You two seem to, but I don't. Great, she saw me staring. Now she probably thinks I'm a pervert or something. Actually, probably not. This is Rin we're talking about after all. Still, I feel the need to defend myself. And I wasn't staring, I was just tired. Rin actually snorts at this, but she doesn't say anything. No, really, I was just distracted is all. You can end this conversation, I head back down to class. I'm greeted by the twin inspectors of Shizune and Misha, looking like they mean business. Well, Shizune looks like she means business anyway. Misha just looks like she's about to start laughing any minute.
Up on the roof again, He-chan. You know that's dangerous, don't you? That's right. The school cannot be held responsible for any injury that comes from being up there, you know. Furthermore, we could report you for breaking the rules.
Misha leans in and whispers conspiratorially.
But we won't, He-chan. You three are too cute together.
She straightens up again, laughing at my sudden blush.
Wahahaha! You're too easy to tease, He-chan.
Hey, come on. I'm still new here, sort of. Isn't it mean to pick on the newcomer like this?
Nope. It's to help you get acclimated to your new surroundings.
Nah, I see. Well, do you have to be so overzealous about it?
Yep. Ah, that aside, He-chan, we were looking for you this morning, but you weren't in your room.
Of course I wasn't. I was off for my morning exercise. We're here in class bright and early. Unlike you. Shizune looks peeved, and a beat later, so does Misha. Or tries to at any rate.
That was because of student council business. You should be grateful that we worked so hard for you.
No, I am. So what'd you need me for? Another attempt to rope me into their dirty work, I hope.
We had to give you something, but since you weren't around, we dropped it off in your room.
Something? Like what?
Oh, you'll find out when you get back, He-chan.
So you dropped... I don't even... We'll talk about it when we get there, because obviously this is probably going up the same time that the other video in Hanako's route is going up. How coincidental is that? Which probably means you actually already saw... Well, if you watch Hanako's route, you're not watching Emi's route, or if you're watching both routes, then you might have already seen it. If you're only watching Emi's route, then you might not have. We'll get to it when we get to it. Muto entering the room ends our conversation, and we all head to our seats. It's only after I settle down at my desk that the teacher started talking about something or other that something odd strikes me. What did Rin mean, you two seem to? Was Emi staring at something too? For a brief moment, I considered the possibility that Emi was staring at me the way I was staring at her. Of course, that's ridiculous. Still, I can't deny I wouldn't mind that if it were true. But it's best not to think of that. No need to get my hopes up. Come to think of it, when did I start having hopes like that anyway? I shake my head in an attempt to clear it and focus on the lesson. Oh, Hisao.